Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Muhammad Alshareef and welcome to today's episode of When Life Met Revelation. In today's episode, inshallah, we're going to be talking about the higher hand as opposed to the lower hand. And the journey begins many years ago at Harvard University, where I was invited to speak, and it was a lesson not only for me, but for one of the people who asked me a question. So let's go back, way back. The year was 2002, and I was invited to give a speech at Harvard University. It was an extracurricular evening lecture for some students there. And as I gave my speech, one of the students came up to me and he had a question. He started explaining to me what he was studying in university, something really, niche, right? To put it, something like medieval art history or something like that. Something that, if you go out to the mainstream market, you're not exactly going to get a job just like that. So he asked me this question. He said, Muhammad, what should I do as a career option? Here's a student from Harvard University experiencing the same dilemma that you and I and all of us have, which is, what do I do with my life after I graduate, and what do I do with my education? So I gave him the following advice, and when I gave it to him, his eyes went really wide and everything made sense. And even when I articulated it, even my eyes went really wide and I was like, that was good. This is what I said. Between me and that brother was a desk. On one side he was asking a question, on the other side I was answering the question. I said, in your career path, as you go forward in life, you're going to be on one side of this desk. Either you're going to be the person going around asking for jobs, or you're going to be the person that other people come to who provides jobs to others. So rather than asking yourself the question, what should I study? I said, ask yourself the question, what do you need to do to get on this side of the desk so that you're the one providing jobs for others? Now let me show you where you can find this in hadith. The Prophet ﷺ said,
Hakim ibn Hizam, may Allah be pleased with him, reported the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, the upper hand is better than the lower hand.
Here you see in the hadith that the Prophet ﷺ said that the upper hand is better than the lower hand. Hey, does that make sense? Remember back in episode 2 of When Life Met Revelation, when I talked about studying Islam? I took a path back in those days that very few people have done, and therefore there's very few jobs connected to studying Islam. So that when I graduated, I said to myself, I need to also take a different path. So rather than asking people for jobs, what if I do this? What if I get on the other side of the desk and start making jobs for other people, providing benefit for them? Now here's a final point that I want to make for those people who are studying. Like I said, 95% of our education is training us to be employees. But you have to realize, as an employee, you're not begging for money. You're actually trading your profession and your skills with somebody else so that you can provide value to them. So the lesson I believe of the higher hand is, no matter what situation you are in life and who you're dealing with, always provide more value in giving than in receiving. So even if you're an employee, always strive as a Muslim to provide more value to the employer than what you're receiving from him or her in the income that you're getting. Hey, does that make sense? Alright, that's it for today. I know it was a little heavy. Feel free to ask some questions in the comment below after you press the like button. And inshallah ta'ala, I'll be responding to 2 or 3 people. And for yourself, if you see some people commenting and you'd like to share your thoughts, by all means, join the community. This is Muhammad Alshareef signing off, saying, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.